The story is set in the late 1960s of the Showa era, where we follow the smooth thief Arsène Lupin III and his crew on a chase through Paris and Brazil. They're after a dead Professor Bresson's diary, a treasure that even Lupin's grandfather couldn't catch. But it's not just them. A group of Nazi treasure hunters, led by Lambert and Gerard, are also on the hunt. Because the diary is no ordinary loot, it's a mechanical wonder with a hidden fortune. It's a showdown for whoever can decipher its mystery first, will be the owner of an enormous fortune. Okay, let's have a look who are in this race. First up, we've got charismatic and skilled gentleman thief Arsène Lupin III, a smooth operator of the crew. He's all about the daring heists and quick thinking. Then there's Daisuke Jigen, the sharpshooter with a cool and collected vibe. He's the one who's got Lupin's back in those tricky situations. Gomon Ishikawa 13 brings some serious sword skills to the team. He's a master swordsman with a strong sense of honor. Now, Fujiko Mine is the femme fatale with a twist. She's not just a love interest for Lupin. She's got her own agenda and a knack for manipulation. Letitia is a mysterious one. She's connected to the treasure and the diary's secrets. She becomes intertwined with Lupin and his team's quest to uncover the secrets of the Bresson diary and locate the hidden treasure. Developing a relationship with Lupin and his team, they work together to decipher the diary's mysteries and thwart the plans of the sinister organization seeking the treasure. Inspector Koichi Zenigata is on the other side of the law. He's been chasing Lupin for ages and is dead set on bringing him down. And then we've got Gerard, the smooth-talking baddie. He's after the Bresson diary and the treasure it leads to. He's the one stirring up trouble for Lupin and the gang. Lambert, a former archaeologist, adds another layer to the mix. He's trying to make up for past mistakes by helping Lupin decipher the diary's secrets and save the treasure. These characters all come together in a wild adventure full of heists, twists, and showdowns. Now the story begins in Nazi-occupied France, where an archaeologist, Professor Bresson, entrusts his heavily trapped diary and an amulet containing the key to his family. This diary holds the secrets to a massive treasure known as the Eclipse, which a group of Nazis working for Ahnenerbe is seeking. Soon they arrive at his home in a truck and he is killed by them. Meanwhile, his family escapes but is chased down by Ahnenerbe Professor Lambert. The chase ends in a crash, leaving only the baby daughter alive. Lambert swipes the amulet from her, but can't find the diary, which got lost during the chaos. Fast forward to the swinging 1960s, there's this exhibition honoring Professor Bresson, and the infamous diary shows up. A man that appears as a mailman rushes in with a card from Arsène Lupin, announcing that he will be stealing the book. As the chaos unfolds at the exhibition, the staff desperately tries to secure the diary back in the vault. The mailman himself attempts to grab the book, but is stopped by a security guard, Letitia. She cuffs him and calls out to Inspector Zenigata that the mailman is, indeed, Lupin himself. Zenigata makes his grand entrance and grabs Lupin, but this master thief lives up to his reputation by slipping through Zenigata's fingers and making a gravity-defying getaway to the ceiling. The female guard is tasked to put the diary back, but en route to the vault, she sprays the policeman and escapes to the rooftop too with diary in hand. Letitia finds a moment of respite on the rooftop, but her peace is short-lived. Lupin, always one step ahead, manages to snatch the diary from her grasp. A struggle ensues as they wrestle for control, and in the heat of the moment, Letitia blurts out that she knows more than he does about the diary's secrets. Eventually, after saving her from almost falling down, he makes a dramatic leap to another rooftop, triumphantly declaring his ownership of the diary. Just when he thinks he's got it all figured out, enters the enigmatic Fujiko Mine, arriving in style on a helicopter. In a swift move, she swoops in and snatches the diary from Lupin's hands, leaving him fuming. Lupin angrily yells at Fujiko until Zenigata arrives on the rooftop with his men, ready to capture Lupin at last. He orders his men to apprehend both Lupin and Letitia, but she deploys a parachute and makes her daring escape, leaving Lupin behind to face Zenigata's grasp. In a dimly lit boardroom, Ahnenerbe fugitives, led by Gerard and Lambert, convene for a crucial discussion. Lambert emphasizes the importance of their mission and the necessity of unlocking the secrets of the Bresson diary. Meanwhile, Fujiko makes an unexpected entrance, delivering the diary herself. But Gerard isn't easily fooled. He quickly discovers Fujiko's duplicity and has her detained. While being transported to prison, Lupin gets an unexpected jailbreak courtesy of his pals Jigen and Ishikawa. But when Lupin suggests they team up to retrieve the Bresson diary, they brush him off. Frustrated, Lupin declares he'll go after the treasure alone and keep it for himself. Jigen just rolls his eyes. Meanwhile, Lambert and Gerard try to crack open the diary with one half of the key, but no luck. Back in her dark apartment, Letitia finds herself overcome with shame for her newfound thieving life. She sinks onto her bed, tears welling up. Suddenly, Lupin appears that shocks her. He reveals that he'd planted a tracking device on her shoe. The conversation turns as Lupin learns about her aspirations as an archaeologist. He unveils an amulet, the other half of the Bresson diary's key, an heirloom from his grandfather. As Letitia readies herself, she secretly contacts her mysterious grandfather on her walkie-talkie. The truth is, it's Lambert. Letitia hesitates about joining forces with a thief, but Lambert's threats about her future at the Boston University of Archaeology force her reluctant cooperation. Guided by Letitia, Lupin reaches the hideout, an elaborate custom transport plane, where they reclaim the diary and the missing half of Lupin's amulet. Unlocking the diary's secrets, they discover that the eclipse is a potent energy generator, a legacy of a sophisticated lost civilization concealed within the Teotihuacan ruins. Realizing he's been led into a trap, Lupin willingly hands himself over to Gerard and Lambert. Meanwhile, Fujiko exploits the chaos to slip away solo. However, Lupin sneaks back into the plane, overhearing Gerard and Lambert's conversation. Shockingly, they're after none other than Adolf Hitler, who supposedly faked his death, fled to South America, and now seeks to use the eclipse to resurrect the Third Reich. When Letitia, who has also overheard the conversation, confronts the two men, Gerard throws her out of the plane. Lupin also jumps after her after snatching the diary and the amulets back. And both of them are then rescued by Fujiko, Jigen, and Gomon. Left stranded, Lupin summons Zenigata to his location and steals his Interpol helicopter. Zenigata manages to get back on board, and after learning of the stakes, he teams up with Lupin's gang and Letitia to thwart the villains. During a stopover, Lupin reveals to Letitia that he has deduced her to be Bresson's granddaughter, and that Lambert adopted her only to get his hands on the diary and the eclipse. He also discovers that his grandfather had actually helped Bresson find the eclipse, but afterwards trapped the book to prevent the eclipse from falling into the wrong hands. Gerard and Lambert locate the hidden site of the eclipse, but they are unable to bypass its traps without the diary. They backtrack to where they had left Lupin, hoping to retrieve it. While they're gone, Lupin's team manages to navigate the traps, only to realize that their adversary's departure was a ploy to clear the path to the eclipse. Lambert and Gerard activate the eclipse, transporting them and Letitia to the surface. Lupin's crew intercepts them, thwarting their escape by disabling Lambert's aircraft. Lambert uses the eclipse's power to restart the plane and triggers a micro-black hole to eliminate Lupin's team, assuming them to be dead. Consumed by arrogance, Lambert claims control of the eclipse and incinerates the diary. Preparing to use the device to annihilate Berlin, Lambert faces off against Gerard. When Letitia seizes control of the eclipse, Gerard shoots at her, but Lambert takes the fatal bullet instead. Soon after, Gerard learns that Hitler has been located and takes Letitia and the eclipse to him. There, she wants to shoot him for his heinous intentions with the eclipse, but gets overcome by Gerard. He orders his guards to deal with her accordingly, and they leave to Eclipse to test its capabilities. Meanwhile, Letitia discovers that Lupin's crew, aided by Zenigata and Interpol, have beaten Gerard to the base. Lupin cleverly disguises himself as Hitler. On the eclipse, Lupin reveals his true identity, prompting Gerard to attack. Lupin manipulates the eclipse's controls to unleash a micro-black hole inside it. Gerard gets pulled into the black hole and meets his demise. Lupin narrowly escapes with a gravity device salvaged from the Teotihuacan ruins. After a quick but heartfelt farewell to Letitia, during which he entrusts her with the gravity device and secures her enrollment into Boston University. This impresses her, and she asks how he got that. He tells him that he stole her thesis and submitted to the university. And at the end, Lupin and his team hasten to evade Zenigata's persistent pursuit. That's it. We'll see you in another video again.